Have you ever heard the story of Marlene Dietrich and Billy Wilder? Well, it's a pretty interesting one. So, it was 1948 and Wilder was looking for someone to play a role in his new film, A Foreign Affair. The character she'd be playing was a German cabaret singer named Erika von Schlutow, but with some suspicious ties to the Nazis. Now, you might think that Marlene Dietrich would be the perfect fit for the part, considering her iconic status and, well, let's just say complicated history with the Nazis. But here's the thing, Dietrich had made it clear she wasn't interested in anything related to the Nazis or their causes. She'd even worked hard to support the Allied efforts during the war. So, when Wilder first approached her about the role, she turned him down flat. I mean, can you blame her? It's a pretty distasteful topic, right? But what's amazing is that Wilder didn't push the issue or try to persuade her. He just let it go and said he'd found 2 other actresses who could play the part instead. But then he did something clever. He asked Dietrich if she'd like to see some test performances by these new actresses, supposedly because he wanted her opinion on which one would be better for the role. And you know what? It worked like a charm. Marlene was so impressed with how awful those 2 actresses were that she immediately changed her mind and said she'd do the part herself. It's really quite interesting to think about why that happened. You see, when we're faced with someone who doesn't want us to get their way, our first instinct is usually to resist them or try to influence them in some way. But what if you could frame things in a way that makes it seem like the other person is choosing to do what we want them to do? That's basically what Wilder did here. So, the lesson from this story is actually quite simple. When you're trying to influence someone, make sure your approach follows a similar logic. Ask yourself, how can I get this person to perceive what I want them to do as something they're choosing to do? It's all about softening people's resistance and confirming their own self-opinion. And that's the law of defensiveness in action, one of the laws of human nature, actually. When we see someone resisting us or saying no to our influence, it's often because they feel attacked or defensive. So, by framing things in a way that makes them feel more comfortable and confident, you can actually get them to agree with what you want. It's not rocket science, but it does take a bit of creativity and understanding of human psychology.